call my older brother, Rabbi Gershon Spiegel, to say a few words.
We gathered this evening for a night of remembrance for Shalom ben Yoina HaKohen. Mr. Reinger mentioned earlier that Shlomi was a Kohen. Not many people are fortunate to merit that the synagogue gets together and makes a remembrance like this. It must have been about 20 years ago. And Shlomi was walking down Rivington Street and he bumped into our late rabbi, my father, Rabbi Yaakov Spiegel, who the street is named after today on Rivington Street between Mother and Russia. And Shlomi was an Israeli boy, found himself in America. In Israel, you hear about America, you hear about Manhattan, you think it's all rosy. When you get here, you find it's not so easy. And what was important to him was that his Jewish heritage was very important to him. And although he met many fine people and nice people, Jewish and Gentile alike, in his work, but he felt, and rightfully so, he felt that the only way that he would be able to maintain his Jewish identity would be by making the shul and participating in the shul and associating with the rabbi an integral part of his life. And there are many people that would marvel it because Shlomi was in that way, he was a universal person that was on the other side of the aisle as well. He was a socialite and he was involved with his co-workers. But when it came to the time to pray, when it came to this time to spend some time with intellectual religious pursuit, for him it was as important as a job, as a deal, and maybe in some ways even more important. Shlomo HaMelech says, and Solomon said, Toiv yoim hamoves v'yoim yivoldoi. Toiv shemen toiv v'shemen toiv v'yoim hamoves v'yoim yivoldoi. Which means, it's better a good name than good oil, and it's better the day of death than the day when a person is born. Now, how does one comprehend the parable and the metaphor that's better the day of death than the day of being born? When a person is born, it's a renewal. It's new, comes into this world. He hasn't accomplished anything. He has his whole life ahead of him. But on the day of death, which nobody knows when that date will come, he has what he's achieved. He comes in front of the Almighty Creator of the world and he says, I'm here. I was on this world for the time I was allotted. This is what I have accomplished. So Toiv Shemen Toiv. A person on this world thinks it's very important to be affluent, be successful, amass great fortunes. But the day of death, none of those fortunes help anybody. It may help some people that are left on this world for the time being that they're here. It may help charities. It may help some people. But the person himself, he only has the good deeds, the relationships, how he helped other people. That's what he comes with. You know, I once met a very intriguing person, a doctor, he had a doctorate in computer science and a number of other disciplines. And after my meeting, he gave me his phone number, and he asked me to call him. One day I reached him on his telephone, and the machine went on, and the machine said the following: "This is not an answering machine. This is a questioning machine. I have two questions for you. Who are you? And what do you want?" These may be very simple questions, and you may think they're insignificant. But most people go through life without having the answer to these two questions. And I must tell you, when I heard it, my response was very similar to yours. When you think about it, Shlomi ben Yoina HaKohen, he knew who he was, and he knew what he wanted. He knew what was important in his life. He knew that he had to identify with his Judaism. He knew that was important to him, even in the face of not having the same monetary gain as if he didn't give it the same importance. And because of that association, we recognize that when we come together to commemorate and to remember him, all his good deeds, all his associations, all his qualifications. The Gemara, the Talmud says, when a person comes to the other world, the first question that they ask you by the tribunal is, Noisim v'neisenes b'amuna. Did you deal in your financial dealings, did you deal with integrity? We heard from boss, Mr. Cohn, earlier, who said that we still speak about Shlomi. Okay? Obviously, he made a tremendous impression on his coworkers and on his employers. We here in the shul, where he spent many, many years, he made an indelible impression on us. We will remember him. His mitzvahs, his good name, will be remembered. And Yehi Zichrei Baruch. Let his remembrance be blessed. Toiv Shem Toiv, Meshemin Toiv, Yoim HaMobes, Yoim Yivolver.
I'd like to pull up Anne Salvira. Before she comes off, I'd like to mention one thing that Shlomi, I don't think it was a Shabbos that he didn't spend time Friday night in the Salvira home. He's not here to thank you, but I think that thanks has to go out to you for opening your house to him. An address that was always open, and we really appreciate what he's told me. Last night, in the Salvira home, and it was like a home away from home for him. We really appreciate it.
I'd like to start with the telephone call that I got from Rabbi Spiegel. I wasn't home, and he was on my answering machine, and his voice was very, very serious. In all the years that I spoke to the rabbi, I never heard that tone of voice from him. And I was thinking to myself that someone must have passed away here from the group, from the shul, some elderly person. And he was letting us know the arrangements. But then I decided to call B'nai. And B'nai wasn't home that morning. I called her 3 or 4 times until I finally got her on the phone, and she said to me, "Did you hear? Shlomi died." I says, "What are you talking about? What do you mean Shlomi died? Shlomi's in Israel." And then the rabbi called me, and the same thing again, Shlomi died. So after I got off the phone with the rabbi, I called Shlomi's sister in Israel. As soon as somebody picked up the telephone, the first thing they said to me, that I was his mother here in New York. I was Shlomi's mother. I must say, I never felt that I was his mother. I felt that we were good friends. We were friends. All of us were good friends with him. It's very difficult. The first time we met Shlomi had lived on 3rd Avenue in about 29th, 30th Street. My husband had his business there. So one day my husband was standing outside the store and Shlomi came along and they started talking. There was an instant shidduch. Shlomi's mother and father are from Tunisia and my husband is from Tunisia. So it was just a click right there. Then his mother came from Israel and we went and made Shabbos with her. Shlomi went back to Israel, he got married, and Shlomi came back from Israel, divorced. And he wanted to move down to Ludlow Street, to that area. So he moved to Ludlow Street, and my husband told him, if you're going to live over there, you've got to go to the Romanian, that's where we daven, and there's a very nice rabbi there, Rabbi Spiegel, and that's where you should go, which you did. He lived on Ludlow, and then he moved to Essex Street. He was very, very unhappy on Essex Street. From Essex Street, his first number came up, a good number. The number came up that he should get an apartment in Village View. Okay, first studio apartment, he was so happy. My son and I helped him, walked him through what he had to do. And he did it, and he got the apartment. And it was in a very good location in the building. It was to the back, it was on a low floor. Every time I went in and out, he could see me coming and going, and I saw him at the window and we waved to each other. So when he moved into Village View, he spent a lot of time with us. A lot. He spent time with us before that as well, but not as much as when he was in Village View. Spent a lot of time. Anytime he needed help with something, he called my son. My son helped him. Anytime he needed, paperwork to be filled out or something. And he was just a good person. I remember him telling us that when he was younger, he had an accident and they had to remove his spleen. And the doctors told his mother that he's only going to live a very short life. He was very young at the time, maybe, if I remember correctly, he was 8 or 9 at the time, and the mother said he's not going to live more than another 6 years or something like that. But he defied the odds, he lived longer. When I told my sister that he passed away, my sister said, he used to make me laugh. He's going to make me laugh now. He had an infectious laugh about him. He was just a happy person. And we went to a couple of events together. And he was just a good person, a nice person. And since he died, it's like a void in our house on Friday night. There's somebody missing. He was a good person.